Hey guys, thank you to those of you who are already joining in on the YouTube live. I just hopped on, and today I am going to be teaching you how to make your first $1,000 with selling on Amazon FBA. So, if that is something that interests you, make sure you join in this live, ask questions, and we will go a bit more in detail about that. Yes, sorry, I'm missing the questions up here. I am live on both YouTube and TikTok, so um, yeah, sorry, guys. I'm missing questions up top. Do you shop at Walmart for deals and products online or in person? The majority of the time, I am searching for online deals, yeah, and purchasing online from Walmart and not in store. If I do happen to be in Walmart, just I was running in to pick up something and I find a good deal, I will pull out the Amazon seller app and scan it and see if it is going to be a worthwhile deal or not. And if it is, then I will purchase it. So that's why I say my business is about 99% online arbitrage and about 1% retail arbitrage. Do you find it difficult to find enough product to gear up for Q4? No, I don't find it difficult. I buy a ton of product in Q3 and yeah, I don't necessarily find it difficult. What do you do if you get an IP complaint from a brand? Then I will submit the retail receipt, and retail receipts tend to be good enough for IP complaints. Retail receipts will not get you ungated. Guys, we got 8 of you in the YouTube live already. If everyone can just give a thumbs up, that would really help to grow this live. We'll get more people in here, we'll get better questions, and it will help everyone a lot more. So I really appreciate that. Okay. Thank you for the follows, guys. I appreciate it. Okay. How do you find a good product to sell? So I use a program called Tactical Arbitrage. You can get a 10-day free trial if you click the link below. And yeah, give it a try. Start searching for products. That's how I find the majority of the products that I sell on Amazon is from using Tactical Arbitrage. Um, what is the criteria for selecting products in arbitrage? The criteria is looking at the sales rank, looking at the monthly sales, looking at the Keepa graph to ensure that the price has remained the same for quite some time. What else? Making sure that the product is ungated so that I'm allowed to sell it, stuff like that. What percent do you have to be at to actually make a profit after Amazon fees? So yeah, Amazon fees can be anywhere from 15 to 30%. So I mean, ideally you want to be more, well, no, you have to be more than that. So I always run it through Buybot Pro, which is a program, and it will tell me like what the fees are going to be on that particular product, because if the product's very heavy, then the fees are going to be higher. If the product's very light, the fees will be less. So it takes into account a few things, and then it's also based on the category. So then when I go into Buybot Pro, it will tell me basically what I should price it at. Can you share your typical search parameters? No, I cannot. That is all given out in the course. I give my exact filters in the course. Do you do wholesale in tactical arbitrage? No, I don't personally do wholesale in tactical arbitrage. I am 99% online arbitrage and about 1% retail arbitrage. How much is the minimum investment? I recommend having at least $1,000 to invest in inventory. If you have more, better. The more, the better. But ideally, you want to have at least $1,000 to invest in inventory before starting out. Where do you start FBA? Well, first things first, you need to create an Amazon seller account, and then from there, once you've been verified, it takes about a month to get verified through Amazon. Then once you're verified, then you can start looking for products and start buying products. Before tactical arbitrage, how did you find your products? It was all manual sourcing before tactical arbitrage existed. Awesome. We are caught up on questions. I can have some coffee. So, the title of this YouTube, the title of this YouTube is How to Make Your First $1,000 Profit with Selling on Amazon. So, I'm going to tell you how to make $1,000 in a month. How much is your course? Or if you already said it, my course is 997 and it's the first link in my bio. So you click the link in my bio and then it's the first link. If you're on YouTube, it's the first link in the description. Okay, so how do you make your first $1,000 selling on Amazon FBA? So I'm going to take a bit of a break on the questions right now and explain this. So, in order to make your first $1,000, if you want to make it in a month, you're going to need a $10,000 investment. If you want to make it in your first $1,000 in a year, then you're going to need a $1,000 investment. So, yeah, so to explain that further, if you have a $10,000 investment, you have $10,000 of inventory that you've purchased and sent into Amazon, it's all been received. What next? Or how are you going to make that $1,000 profit? So with $10,000 of inventory, let's assume that you're going to sell through 50% of your inventory. So you're going to sell through out of the 10K, you're going to sell through $5,000 worth. So out of that $5,000 worth that you've sold in your first month, if you have a 20% profit margin, which is typical, maybe a little bit less, sometimes a little bit more, but 20% is fairly typical. That $5,000 in sales with a 20% profit margin is going to make you that $1,000 in your first month. So the key to get there is finding profitable products. If you can't find profitable products, then you are going to be unable to you're going to be unable to fill that $10,000 of inventory. So you need to be able to find profitable products. How do you find profitable products? Well, you're going to need a program. The program is called Tactical Arbitrage, and it is absolutely crucial to have tactical arbitrage if you want to be successful with the online arbitrage business model, because all of your competition is likely using it. So if your competition is using tactical arbitrage and you're going to go do manual sourcing, you are not going to be able to compete with your competition because you can't scan through hundreds of thousands of products every day, whereas tactical arbitrage can. It can be running 10 searches at once. So if you're running through those 10 searches at once, you're finding profitable products, you'll be able to get to that 10K in inventory, and then you'll be able to get that in and sell a $1,000 profit in your first month. So should I say first month? No. Obviously, first things first, you got to create a seller account. That takes about a month to get verified. After that, then you can start sourcing products. So by about month 3, you'll have all your inventory at Amazon, and by the 3rd month, you should be able to make your first $1,000. So that answers the question, or what I titled my YouTube live. So I wanted to give you that insight, and now we will get back to questions. So we only have one question that was missed. Coffee, you're going to be up so late. Yeah, thankfully it's only 6:45 here, so I will be up late, but not too late. All right, guys. Yeah, feel free to continue to ask questions. If you have any questions about selling on Amazon, thanks for those likes. We are at 1,400 likes on TikTok. We are at 2 likes on YouTube. So, guys, if you have not liked and you're watching on YouTube right now, please give a thumbs up. It really helps. Is your average ROI 20% or slightly more? I try to stay around 30% on average for ROI. Thanks for that like. We got a 3rd like on YouTube. That's awesome. How many of each product do you feel you buy? So for me, it's different. I buy in pretty big quantities because I know what's going to sell and what's not, because I've refined a search over the past 9 years. But for someone starting out, I say buy 1 to 3 products when starting out. And the reason that is like 1 to 3 units per product. And the reason I say that is I don't want people to get stuck with inventory and have money tied up that does not need to be tied up. So buy 1 to 3, see if the inventory sells. When the inventory sells, then you can restock it if it's still available. If the inventory does not sell, then it's a good thing you didn't buy more than 1 to 3, because that way you will not get stuck with the inventory, or that way you'll not get stuck with a big amount of inventory. What is the average price point you sell, like $100 items? My average sales per order item over the past 2 years is $200 per item. That's the average. So I sell items that are $90. I sell items that are 2,500. Was waiting for Gigi. She not there. She said unless there was unforeseen circumstances. So maybe there was unforeseen circumstances that made it so she couldn't make it. Where do you buy to sell? So I buy a lot of stuff from Walmart. I buy from Target. I buy from any online retailer that I can make a profit off of that I know sells genuine new products. We are all caught up on questions. People are being pretty quiet today. I haven't heard any questions. That's a big coffee. Yeah, it is a big coffee. How long did it take you to work up to that $200 average per item? The $200 average per item that took. I've been selling high value items for many years now, so maybe 3 years. First first 2 years, first 1.5 year, I was selling just graphing calculators, and then about a year and a half in, then that's when I started getting into other products. And then eventually, probably a year and a half after that, I got into high value products. How much time do you spend on this per week now versus when you started? Yeah, good question. So when I started 9 years ago, I was working on weekends, anywhere from 10 to 13-hour shifts on weekends. So weekends were basically shot. And then I was going to school full time, pursuing my business degree. So with that being said, I didn't have a lot of time to work on my business originally when I first started. So I was working at probably around 1 to 2 hours a day, but I worked on getting in that 1 to 2 hours per day, I worked on, or sorry, with that being said, when I was in university class, at the back of the class, I was on my laptop doing Amazon stuff. So, but yeah, starting out anywhere from 1 to 2 hours a day, 5 days a week. So 5 to 10 hours a week. Now I am about 20 to 30 hours per week. So I do work more now than when I first started, but I don't go to school now and I don't have a job now. So it's different. Do you use a prep center? Yes, I use multiple different prep centers, multiple different in Canada, and then one in Oregon right now. Um, how much time do you spend on the Amazon listing itself? I doesn't take very long. I piggyback off of everyone else's listing, so it doesn't take very long at all. I don't spend much time on it. Is there a place to search in tactical for a specific product? Yeah, you can do an ASIN, like you can search an ASIN and it's gonna tell you all the places you can buy that ASIN from, which I do sometimes. I'll go into tactical arbitrage, put an ASIN in. So let's say I found an item at Walmart and I'm like, this seems like it's a good buy. I'll take that ASIN, put it into tactical arbitrage, and it'll be like, oh, you can actually buy that item for $5 cheaper or $10 cheaper at Target. So that could be helpful. Why do you need lab testing for toys that are already being sold on Amazon? I don't need any sort of lab testing. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So worth it, absolutely. Do you have any items sent DIY from Walmart to Amazon, or do you receive repackaged then send? Yeah, so unfortunately, you cannot send directly from Amazon to. You cannot send directly from Amazon to. Oh, sorry. No wonder I was getting confused. You cannot send directly from Walmart to Amazon. Sorry. Um, so yes, I use a prep center. So all of my inventory, like say I order something from Walmart, it goes from Walmart to the prep center, and then from the prep center it goes to Amazon. What prep center in Oregon? I do not give that out. I give it out in my course, but I don't give it out to the general public just because I was getting too many people calling the prep center asking what does Ryan sell. So calling and emailing. Work hard now, y'all, so you can play harder later. Absolutely. Um, hey, Casey, thanks for that rose. What are the What are your operating costs per month? So I don't my operating costs are super low. To be completely honest with you, the majority of the programs and stuff that I use because I have a personal brand, I get for free. So operating costs are super low. Like I used to have a warehouse, so I had to pay for that, but I don't pay for that now. So really, my main cost is prep centers. But yeah, hey bud, got your message. Let's talk Monday about being part of your course. Yeah, cool. That sounds good, Casey. We can talk Monday. That sounds good. Do you think you should revisit your tutorial package and dedicate chapters about gating? No, because the reason that I say no to that question is because I don't teach people how to get ungated. Casey comes in with the galaxy. Oh my gosh, a galaxy. Just insane, insane comes in with the Galaxy. The same Casey that sent the private jet before. So thank you so much, Casey. I appreciate that. Wow. Um, so for those of you who are on YouTube are confused, when you're on TikTok lives, you can get gifts, and a Galaxy is a big gift to get. So that was pretty neat. Um, do you? Okay, yeah. So I was answering the question about the gating. No, I'm not gonna add that. The reason being is, um, I don't I don't teach you how to get ungated. I give you access to the ungating service that is a paid service, but I don't, teach you how to get ungated because you can't get ungated with retail receipts. So, and I only do retail, I don't do wholesale. So unfortunately, I don't teach that. So that's why I'm not going to add it to the course. But what is in the course is the ungating service that I use, or not that I use, but that my students use. The reason I don't use it is because I was grandfathered in where I am basically ungated in most products. How many products are you currently selling? About 100 different SKUs. Yeah. Yeah. How many furthermore, shouldn't you be an expert on gating to warn beginners? Yeah, so I'm not an expert on gating, ungating whatsoever. Um Reason I'm not is, as I said, I was grandfathered in where I'm basically ungated in most products. And so I recommend people, if they are interested in getting ungated in certain brands or categories, then I recommend then I recommend getting set up with that ungating service, but I don't personally teach it. Once again, Casey, thanks for that galaxy. I'm in Canada. If I want to sell in the US, do I have to ship to an FBA in the US and pay the fees? There is a way to get your stuff taken across the border. I do teach that in my course. Um, your grandfathered in, beginners are gated. You need to warn people about gating, dude. Beginners are gated. It's not 9 years ago, dude. Yeah, no, I don't hide that from people. You as a beginner, you will be gated in a lot of brands and a lot of products, but there at the same time there are a lot of products that you still are able to sell. So, yeah, no, I don't hide that. It's pretty common knowledge, but I do also make that clear to beginners that you know what you will be gated in a lot of different brands and categories. And if you do decide, like, okay, I found a lot of Barbie products that I can sell, well, then get ungated in that one brand and make that your niche. Do you ever do FBM, especially during Q4? No, I don't. I am 100% FBA. I used to do FBM, or sorry, yeah, I used to do FBM, but now I'm 100% FBA. Can we get ungated for a category for Canadian marketplace by buying from US wholesaler? Y Probably, but as I said, I don't know a lot about wholesale just because I don't personally do it. Um, what happens when you don't send the correct units to Amazon FBA? Can I change anything? Once it's been sent in, you can't change it, unfortunately. You said yourself you don't know about gating. No, I absolutely know about gating. I'm not sure what you mean by that, but I absolutely know about gating. I just said I don't know how to get ungated because you can't get ungated with retail receipt, and I only do online arbitrage and retail arbitrage. What's going on, guys? Thanks to everyone who's joining in. If you're on the YouTube live, please give it a thumbs up. If you're on the TikTok live, keep double tapping that screen. Thanks, guys. Amazon Amazon restrict toys in the fourth quarter during Christmas. Do you mention that? They only restrict toys in Q4 around Christmas time if you didn't sell enough toys in the previous quarter. If you sold enough toys in the previous quarter, you are absolutely allowed to sell toys in the fourth quarter. So, no, I didn't mention that, but you definitely can. How many hours a week does your VA work? Good question. Four of them work 40 hours a week, and one does so four do 40 hours a week, and then the one who manages the rest of them just does 20 hours a week. Stay honest, warn about gating in your $1,000 package. Yeah, like I am honest. Like as I said, you'll be I tell people all the time, I don't know I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. So yeah, as I said, four work 40 hours a week and one works 20 hours a week. Thanks for the follow. Guys, keep asking those questions. I'll do my best to answer them for you. Let's go, guys. More people we get in this live. We got 40 on TikTok. We got 5 on YouTube. More people we get in this live, the more questions we get, better questions, and it helps everyone. So if ever been wondering anything about Amazon FBA and you're in this live, then feel free to ask your questions. How much do you sell today? That's a good question. I never looked. Let me check. I don't check it too much on weekends. Okay, I've done $8,330 in sales, 19 units, 2 on Amazon.ca, 17 on Amazon.com. 8,330 US dollars and $10,589 US or $10,589 Canadian, and then back to US 1 second. $8,330 in US dollars. Um, what do you find most difficult in doing OA? Good question. Most difficult part. Um, Most difficult part about OA. I guess certain retailers only allow you to buy a certain amount, so that's difficult because sometimes they might have like 1,000 in stock, but they limit you to buying 10. And it's like if it's a really good product, then you might have went and bought all 1,000 of them, for example. So that's I guess that's a difficulty is it can definitely hold you back in that sense that you can't go all in on a product from a retailer that restricts the number that you can buy. Do you talk to your VA daily? No, I don't talk to my VA daily. I talk to them on weekdays, but not on weekends. On weekends, they're all doing their own thing. Actually, sorry, I have one that works on weekends, but I don't talk to him on the weekends. Um, how many products per day are your VAs required to find? I don't give them a set number that they need to find because each day is different. Obviously, the more the better, but some days they find nothing. Um, some days they find a lot. It really depends on the day. So it's not like, okay, you guys have to find at least 100 or 10 products a day or 15 products a day that are going to be profitable that I'm actually going to buy. No, I'm pretty lenient with them in that sense because they do good work. They use time proof, so I can see their screen every 10 minutes. So I make sure that they stay on task and stuff like that. Thank you for the follow. Which days out of the week do you think is the most busy for Amazon? Make the most money? Hmm. Usually Fridays and Saturdays are the busiest, but I mean, they're all usually fairly similar. But yeah, typically I've seen Friday and Saturdays be more busy. It seems like more people are shopping online during those days, but yeah, I don't know. Sometimes Sundays too. Sundays are good. Sourcing products outside of Canada, do you have to pay duty? No. So like let's say I source a product in the United States to sell on Amazon.com, then no. But if I'm say I source an item on in the United States and then I get it shipped to Canada, if it's over like $200, then you'll pay duty on it. So I try to avoid that, and I'll buy it in the United States, get it sent to a US prep center, and then from there they'll bring it across the border. So I don't. Well, yeah, you still have to pay duty actually in that sense. So yeah, you do. So I try to keep it within that same country. Um, but if it's going from a US retailer to a US prep center, and then from the US prep center, it's going to a Canadian Amazon FBA warehouse. As long as it stays under $800, then you don't have to pay duty on that. Um, what is your average net profit on, for example? So my net profit margin on average is anywhere from 18 to 23%, but lately it's been about 23. What happens to inventory that isn't sold? So thankfully, I don't run into that too much anymore. But when I do get inventory that doesn't sell, then I'll lower the price. If I lower the price to a significant level, even if I'm taking a bit of a loss, and I lower it to that price and it's still not selling, then I'll get the inventory sent back to me using a removal order from Seller Central. And then when I do that removal order, it'll get sent back to me. And then in that case, I will list it on a different marketplace like Facebook Marketplace or Kijiji or Craigslist and sell it through one of those just to get rid of it. Do you recommend starting an LLC before launching FBA? No, I don't. I recommend just sole proprietor to start with, and then once you get to a certain number of level of sales, then get into LLC. What do the prep centers charge in general? On average, a prep center charges $8 for a 30-pound box. Um, what products slash niches do you recommend for new FB sellers? I actually just made a video today recommending a new niche or a good niche that I recommend. So go watch that. Go watch that TikTok video today. Um, On TA, if an item has multiple variations on one listing, the monthly sales is for all of them combined. Any way to know the sales for individual items? Unfortunately, not. Yeah, it's for all of them. So I don't really know a way around that. There may be that I just don't know, but yeah, as far as I know off the top of my head, no. Is a simple math formula you use to calculate a product's profitability, or is there an app? There's an app that I use. It's called BuyBot Pro, and you put in your buy price, you put in your sell price, and it's going to tell you exactly what you'll make on that product based on the FBA fees, the final value fees, the weight and dimensions of the product. Thank you for that, Rose. I appreciate that. That's awesome. Thanks for the follow. Thanks for all those likes. 702. 702, what's going on, man? Good to see you in here again. Thanks for the follow. I think you said you send your returns to a storage locker. Have you considered doing liquidation through Amazon? Yeah, good question. So yeah, all of my returns that have been returned to me are all in a couple 300 square foot storage lockers now. So I got 600 square feet of basically full of returns. And yeah, with that being said, I have not considered doing liquidation just because the liquidation, I think they only give you like 10 to 20% of what the original sales of what that product is. Yeah, love these lives, Ryan. Thank you. Hey, you're halfway through the course. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I saw your comment today. I didn't get a chance to respond to it in the course there. Let me just see. Pull that up here. Yeah, for sure. Shoot me an email once you're once you're complete with the course, and then we can go through any questions that you have and get those answered for you and walk you through any products that you are interested in. I'll let you know if I'd buy them or not, and yeah, we can go from there. So yeah, how are you finding the course so far? Not much, just dropping by to say what's up. Awesome. Yeah, thanks for being here again, 702. I appreciate it. Are you buying items on sale and selling at full price, or buying and selling at an inflated cost? Okay, so I'm buying items both on sale and at retail price. With that being said, a lot of items that I sell are sold right at retail, and some are sold at a bit of a higher price. So it really depends on the product. So yeah, to answer your question, both. You're finding it fantastic. Lots of great information. That is awesome to hear. That is awesome to hear. So we have one of my students who is saying that she's halfway through the course and she's found it fantastic, and that it includes lots of great information. So that's awesome to see. Is it BuyBot Pro or Go? It's Pro. And as I said before, guys, um, let's say I have a student that is wondering something about, how to search something on tactical arbitrage, and it's not clear in the course. If I get an email from them, then I go and I'll make a video about that and then add it to the course. And any current students will get an email once there's more content added to the course, and then they get to go check it out. So it's awesome because when students do go through the course, if they ever have questions, then I'll make another video for it or just answer them. And then if it's not something that requires a video, let me know if you guys have any other questions. You need a corporation number or anything to sell? No, absolutely not. You don't have to be incorporated in order to sell on Amazon. You can be just a sole proprietor, and you don't need any sort of corporation number. I don't know where you're located, Castro, but if you're located in Canada, then I recommend getting a GST HST number, because then you can get the GST HST back, that that you the sales tax back that you pay on inventory that's purchased for resale. Doesn't seem to be available for Android. Yeah, I think it's no, sorry, it's a Google Chrome extension. I should have mentioned that. Sorry about that. Do you have any reward point sites like Rakuten, or do you use any reward? Geez, reward point sites like Rakuten? Not able to read today, guys. Yeah, I do. I use Rakuten. I used to use Top Cashback as well, but mainly it's just Rakuten right now. And honestly, I don't get too much on there. I used to get more. My very first ever YouTube video, guys, 5 years ago, was how I made $8,000 using Ebates, which Ebates is what Rakuten used to be called. How much do you need to mark up a retail priced item so you can sell it at a profit on Amazon? Yeah, so it really depends on the size of the product, the dimensions of the product, the category the product's in. It completely depends on that. With that being said, I use a program or a Google Chrome extension that is called BuyBot Pro. And BuyBot Pro, you put in the buy price, you put in the sell price, and it's going to tell you whether or not an item is going to be profitable or not. So that's what I use. What is the cost per click? Is that because you need to pay for advertising? So cost per click is, yeah, CPC, or sorry, PPC, pay per click is what it's actually called. But yeah, that, like, when you hear about PPC, that's going to generally be private label sellers that are going to be telling you that, or people teaching private label. Um, so with that being said, like with the business model that I run, I've never paid a dollar in advertising. The only time I've ever paid for advertising is on eBay, because eBay has a where you can sponsor a listing or whatever. So that's helped um, get my eBay stuff to the top, which is completely different than Amazon. But I've never spent a dollar of on advertising on Amazon. Has Amazon affected your bottom line with their newer fair pricing policy? So the fair pricing policy has actually always been around. I think they've just been enforcing it more lately, but no, it doesn't really affect it. Like, let's say you have a $500 item, like MSRP 500, and you go list it for 550. They're not going to say anything. It's when you have a $5 pack of Lysol wipes that you're selling for $100. That's when they're going to come after you, and that's where they during everything that had been going on lately and everything, when Lysol wipes were becoming an issue, nobody could buy them, and Amazon sellers were marking them up. Then they really closed down a lot of Amazon accounts that way. Do you use a repricer? Yes, I recommend Repricer Express. What's the problem with Amazon wholesaling? There's no problem with it. Absolutely not. There's no problem with wholesale. Like I think wholesale, if there was another business model I was going to choose on Amazon, it would be wholesale over private label. Absolutely. There's nothing wrong with wholesale. For me personally, I no longer have a warehouse. When I had a warehouse, I was thinking about getting into it, but I never did. And you basically need a you don't need a warehouse, but it's going to make it a lot easier because usually wholesalers are going to send stuff on pallets. So, I mean, if you're, let's say you have a single garage that's 200 square feet, or even a double garage that's like 400 square feet, um, and you're getting a bunch of pallets sent in, that's going to fill up really quick. You're not going to be able to have like a forklift in a little garage. So, yeah, I mean, you could do wholesale out of a garage, but it's going to be more ideal to have a warehouse in that case. When you package the product to ship, please provide guidelines. Um, like of what size you can send, or what do you mean by that? Can I start with $1,000 of inventory? Absolutely. I recommend to start with at least $1,000 of inventory. That's kind of the minimum. Over packaging the item. Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of guidelines, so to speak, when you are packaging the inventory. Like, let's say you order items from Walmart and it comes in a Walmart box. Can you send it to Amazon in a Walmart box? Yes, absolutely. You can send it in a Walmart box. So that's one of the questions I typically get is, can I send it in a Target box or a Walmart box? Yes, you can, because as soon as they receive it at their warehouse, they open that box up and see what is in it, and then they just recycle that box. So not a big deal at all. I recommend to put like packing paper or bubble wrap in to make sure that your products don't get damaged when they're sent in. But that's about it. Make sure it's taped well with packing tape. Yeah. If I buy a jacket for $100 retail and sell it through Amazon for $100, I don't see the 23%. Oh, you definitely have to mark it up higher than like if you buy an item for $100, you're not going to sell it for $100 on Amazon. It has to be marked up in that case. Is there a specific item you would start with for wholesaling or category to start selling in? I don't know. I don't know too much about wholesale, so no, not really. I don't have really a recommendation for that. Um, Top categories to sell, top 5. I'll give you my top category right now, which is home and kitchen, and then during Q4, it's toys. Good morning from India. Thanks for joining in. Welcome. Can you please give it a thumbs up if you guys are in the YouTube live? We got 8 of you in here, 5 likes. If you guys all like it, we'll be at 8 likes, hopefully. Okay, do you have Prep Center put FNSKU labels and polybag. So I don't do anything. I don't have them put the FNSKU labels. I get that all done at Amazon, which I noticed. I don't know if anyone else has noticed that who's selling on Amazon, but it used to be 20 cents, and I just saw that they're doing it for 50 cents now. They jacked that price way up. So maybe I should get the FNSKUs put on at my prep center. But yeah, as of right now, I get Amazon to do that, and I don't ever have any items that are polybagged that need to be polybagged. Everything that I sell is usually bigger. Majority of stuff I send into Amazon is oversized. Your thoughts on print on demand on Amazon? Um, like, are you talking merch by Amazon? I'm assuming you're talking that. I'm signed up and approved for merch by Amazon. I sold one T-shirt ever. I had a graphic designer at one point, a virtual assistant graphic designer, and they were doing my YouTube thumbnails at the time. So if you go through my older YouTube videos, you'll see that some of the thumbnails look more professional. That's when I had that graphic designer. So the other job I had that graphic designer do was create T-shirt designs for print on demand, and they created a bunch of them. And actually, the one that did sell, I sold one shirt. The one that sold was my own design that I created, and I'm not a very artistic person, so that was kind of cool. I think it made like $2 profit, so ever on merch by Amazon. So definitely not something that I teach or necessarily recommend, just because the margins are pretty tight. When is your next live? Good question. It'll potentially be tomorrow. If not, it'll be next week. Is there a tip you can offer to find replens? Just constantly be running searches, constantly be running 10 searches at once so you can pull up the maximum number of inventory. And then from there, it'll give you a better opportunity to find replenishable inventory. I came in late, but you're saying you have people finding you deals online to buy. Yeah, so I have 5 virtual assistants that work for me, and 2 of them do online sourcing through Tactical Arbitrage for me. So a virtual assistant is a employee that works off-site for you, and all of my virtual assistants are located in the Philippines. What matters more on Amazon, quality listings or so many listings? It doesn't really matter to me in the sense of I don't create the listings myself. Every listing that I use generally is piggybacked off of. So you really just using Prep Center to put in big box and send to Amazon so you can get tax benefit. The tax benefit is in the United States. If I'm sending from US to the Oregon one, then if I send from US to the Oregon Prep Center, then that's just the tax-free thing. In Canada, that's not the reason I do it. I do it just so I don't have to work as much. Matt, what's going on, man? Good to see you. I got your email the other day. That was awesome. I thought of another question to ask you about VAs. Yeah, go for it. Matt is another one of my course students who's already sold. Is it still 5 items, Matt, or have you sold more than that now? Are these presentations saved for future viewing? So the TikTok live is not saved, but the YouTube lives live, go live on my YouTube channel. So if you want to see this exact live, like a recording of it, then go check out my YouTube channel where they are recorded. And that is my YouTube channel is called Amazon and eBay Guru, or you can just click the link in my bio on TikTok and then it'll take you there. 6 items now. Awesome. Sold another item. That's great to hear. How much does Amazon charge for storing and fees? So yeah, so Amazon charges a monthly storage fee, which is not very much, pretty low amount. And then every 6 months, they charge a long-term storage fee. So ideally, you want your inventory to sell in the first month. Well, obviously more ideally like the first day. But with that being said, you want your inventory to sell in the first month. And if your inventory doesn't sell in the first month, then you ideally want it to sell in the first 6 months because you don't want to have to pay that long-term storage fee. The long-term storage fee can really add up. They are not cheap. So just keep that in mind. I'm noticing that most of the results on T are mismatches and there are a ton of results to sift through. Can you talk about how your VAs look through them and send you the results? Yeah, absolutely. So my VA, both of my sourcing VAs work 8 hours a day. So it's more so just time, the time that they're putting in. They have the time to go through them. Of course, yeah, with tactical arbitrage, it's not a perfect program. It's great, but it's not perfect. And so, yeah, especially when you're running search all the time, you're going to get a lot of mismatches. So, with that being said, um, yeah, with that being said, you like how do I get them to look through it? They're running the searches and then they're going through the results and then they filter out the results and then they delete the results that are going to be either mismatches or out of stock to start with, and then they just keep going through it. Like how deep do they go on checking it out to see? Oh, okay, I see what you mean. So so what I get them to do, create a list. Throughout their workday and then put it into Excel. And then at the end of their workday in the last hour or two, then they go through each one, make sure that everything that they put on there is actually good and actually going to be resellable and profitable. And then they delete the ones that aren't. So yeah, I hope that answers your question, Matt. Are there okay? How much does okay? Already answered that one. I just joined. Sounds like you have a course. Can you talk about that a little? Yeah, absolutely. So I have a course that takes you step by step in how to sell on Amazon FBA. And yeah, it takes you A to Z. I've been doing this for 9 years now. I built the business from the ground up. Started with $1,000, built it into multiple millions of dollars. So yeah, I teach you exactly how to do what I do in the course, and it is in the link in my bio on TikTok, and then it's the first link in the description on YouTube. Do they check it out with Buybot Pro or anything? They do have Buybot Pro. That's a good question. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess they do. Yeah. So they have Buybot Pro on both of their, and they do run it through that. Yes. What else do they do? They also go to the retailer and they check if the item's actually in stock, because sometimes Amazon or Tactical Arbitrage will say it's in stock and it's not actually. And then, like in the case of Walmart, on inventory from Walmart, I get them to go onto the listing and check that it's not sold by a marketplace seller, because I don't want to buy from another marketplace seller. Amazon buys hard Amazon buys hard to find books. If you do this, how do you find the books to purchase? Yeah. So um I don't buy any books. I don't sell any books on Amazon. I used to sell textbooks, but that was about it. Do you do the actual buying? Yes. So everything that is purchased within my business is purchased by me. I used to have VAs do it, but I've just decided to do that myself. I like keeping my own credit card number and stuff like that. So ideally the product is ready for you to glance at and then order. Yeah, ideally it is, but are my VAs perfect? No. They're definitely good, but I would say out of the list that they send me, I probably buy about 40%. So yeah, they're always sending me profitable stuff and whatnot, but it doesn't always make sense for me to buy. So that's why I go through, and that's what I spend part of my time on when I'm working each day, and then obviously the other portion of it is actually buying the inventory. Are you based out of Winnipeg? No, I'm located in Alberta. Go Jets, go. You know what? To be honest, I'm not a Jets fan. Um, with that being said, the house that I purchased here in Alberta, the previous owner was a Jets fan, and I just haven't used a heat gun to go up there yet and take that down. So sorry to the Winnipeg Jets fans, but I'm a Vancouver Canucks fan, which you guys probably don't want to hear, but yeah, that's a team I like. I grew up in BC, so can you please explain that Walmart part about marketplace one more time? Yeah, just leave it. Um, Can can you please explain that Walmart part about marketplace one more time? Yeah, so on Walmart, there's marketplace sellers. So I get my VAs to go to the Walmart listing and make sure that it's not sold by a marketplace seller. I get them to make sure that it is sold and shipped by Walmart. They usually send you quite a few products every day. There's days that they don't send me many. There's days sometimes they don't even like they find just like a few. And then there's other days I'll get like 50. So yeah, it really depends on the day. Especially like sometimes I'll get them to source through more like boutique stores on tactical arbitrage. And usually those are the days that they don't find nearly as much. What is tactical arbitrage? Yeah, so tactical arbitrage is a program that I use to find profitable products to resell on Amazon. Basically, what it does is it will scan through retailers' stores and it will tell you which products you can purchase from those stores that you are able to sell on Amazon for a profit. GG is on BRB. Sounds good. Tactical arbitrage, could you explain? Gotcha. Thank you. Yeah, no problem. Awesome. We are all caught up on questions. Thank you for the likes. Truly appreciate your time. Yeah, no problem. Thanks for being in the live, guys. I appreciate it. Oh, yeah, that's another question. How do you direct them on where to search? Obviously, you have some favorite stores, but other than that, um, yeah, I kind of leave that up to them. Like, obviously, they know my top 10 stores, so I've given them those stores. So those are all usually scanned at least once a week, my top stores. And then after the top 10, I tell them just kind of like trial and error, just run through whatever they think is going to make sense. They know what categories I sell in. I don't sell in beauty. I don't do any sort of makeup, and then I also don't do any groceries. So if there's those stores, then they'll avoid them. But other than that, I pretty much sell everything. And so yeah, it they go through the top 10 for sure each week, and then it's basically trial and error on the other stuff. Like I'll leave it up to them, or if I go through and I'm like, okay, I want you guys to look through these stores this week, then they'll go through them. But if I don't give them direction on that, then it's just totally up to them. How many units do you need to buy? Minimum of one. You don't have to, like you can buy one unit if you want. Are you in Winnipeg? No, I'm located in Alberta. Do you sell clothing? Clothing's another one that I don't sell. Now I do sell like the odd like jacket and stuff, but I don't sell too much clothing. So that's a good question because actually that's another category that I have not went into that definitely definitely there's money to be made in clothing. For me it's just sizing and stuff, how to know which sizes to buy, everything's variations. But yeah, clothing is another good niche that people have a lot of success with. Awesome. It's all coming together in my head now, I think. That is great to hear, Matt. Awesome. I'm glad that it's more clear for you now. Um, why do people buy more than the retail price? Yeah. Probably one of the most common questions that I get. And the answer to that is people go straight to Amazon, especially Prime members. So it's the same with Costco. Like Costco members or anyone who's paying for some sort of membership because the membership makes them feel like they have to keep going to that store to get their money's worth. So, with that being said, Ben, to answer your question, the reason that people would pay, let's say you got a $100 item that is listed on Amazon for 150. How does that sell? Well, the reason that it sells is the Prime members, people who are paying for the Prime membership, go straight to Amazon. They don't go to Walmart first. They go straight to Amazon, assume Amazon is the cheapest price, and then purchase from Amazon. Thanks for the follow. Do you do candy or supplements? So I don't do any sort of grocery, to me includes supplements. So no, I don't do any supplements. Um, are we able to look up your Amazon store? No, that is another thing that I just don't give out. If I gave that out, that would definitely create a large amount of competition. So yeah, that's something that I don't give out. I'm in Edmonton. Awesome. Are you an Edmonton Oilers fan? I just got here. Can you do a rundown on how to do this step by step? Yeah, I can give you a quick answer of that. So basically, what you do is you go to online retailers and you purchase the items from online retailers and then resell them on Amazon for a profit. That's a very quick answer of what to do. Examples, some products are seasonal. Do you direct your virtual assistant to look for specific items? I usually leave it pretty open. I don't personally do seasonal items. Like I don't do and more what I mean by seasonal items are like holiday items. I don't really do like holidays, so I don't really do like sourcing for Easter or sourcing for Halloween, like costumes and stuff. I don't do that. I definitely recommend it to people. Reason being is there's definitely money to be made, but you have to be in early enough and make sure that the inventory is at and received at Amazon. You have to make sure that it's at and received at Amazon prior to the holiday because if it's not, then you're going to get stuck with that inventory. So just a little bit more risk. Hey, Mike, how's it going? My Saturday's going well. How about yours? Good to see you in here again, as always. Top three obstacles one might encounter in their first year of doing this. Not enough capital. An obstacle would be getting returns because, especially if you don't have too much capital, uh, like a return could or getting a few returns could really eat into your margins and finding products. How to find profitable products would be another. If they don't learn how to do it properly, then it could be difficult. FC transfer delays are tough, especially for holiday items. Yeah, absolutely. It sucks when that happens. Um, yeah, I fully agree. Do you do your own shipping? I do. Well, no, not anymore. I used to, but now all of my inventory is sent to prep centers. They take care of that, and then they send it into Amazon. Wrapping up the program, so much work. Oh, that's awesome. Your course is almost ready to go. That is great. Um, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised about how much you can sell your course just with the following that you already have. So yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing about your success with that. How much do you make a year doing this? It really depends on the year. 2020 was an amazing year. 2021, my sales went down, so it really depends on the year. Do you send the pictures and product description? Do you have a contact at Amazon? No, I don't send the pictures or product description. All of the listings that I use are piggybacked off of. So what that means is the listing has already been created, the pictures have already been created, the product description has already been there. So I don't ever have to change that, which is nice. Um, do you have a contact at Amazon? No, I don't. I don't have a direct contact at Amazon. You can get one, but it's $5,000 a month. So to me, it's not worth it. Is this easy to start? It's somewhat easy to start, or it's easier to start if you learn how to do it properly. If you don't, then it can be difficult. So how much did you make in 2022? 2022 is not over yet. We're just a couple months in. So, um, and if you meant to type 2021, I have not finished my taxes yet. So that's something that I'm have to get done by. I think it's got to be done by June, but I'll ideally get it done by April. Bro, how much to fly you to Toronto to show me how to do this? I don't want to fly to Toronto. No offense, but what I can do, I don't need to fly there, but what I can do is I can teach you via Zoom or Skype. I charge 500 US per hour, or you can go through my course, which teaches you step by step. Bro, just give me an example of any year. Um, my first year, 9 years ago, I made 9,000. Who Leafs? Go Leafs. Go Canucks. I'm not a Jets fan. I'm a Canucks fan. Do you ever modify a listing to approve it? No, I don't. I don't ever modify listings. The only time I modify listings, which has only been a few times ever in my career, so to speak, of selling on Amazon, the only few times is when product hijackers came in. which, as I said, does not happen very often, but they put like completely untrue things about the product in the description. So that's the only time I ever submitted stuff for it to be changed. But yeah, normally I don't modify listings. Can you explain why you don't pay for advertising? How do customers find your product listing? So yeah, customers find my oh, yeah, you can take the charger. Um, customers okay, yeah, so why don't I pay for advertising? I don't pay for advertising because of the fact that, all of the items that I sell are already well-known products, so there's no need for me to pay for advertising. The brands pay for, advertising. What is a product hijacker? I guess that's just the name I call it. Maybe that's not the actual, correct term, but sometimes you get, people who will come on and modify a listing. Yeah, I don't know what the proper name is. I just called it a product hijacker because I think that's the term I've heard before. Um, but anyways, yeah, with that being said, they come onto a listing and modify it, send in the modification to Amazon, and Amazon approves it. So let's say you were selling a KitchenAid mixer and they will say, this listing is actually not for a KitchenAid mixer. It's for a hand blender. Let's just say, as an example, they'll completely change the description of what it's supposed to be. So that's what that is. I'll give you 300 an hour Canadian. No, it's not a negotiable rate. It's 500 US per hour. The only time that it is negotiable is if you purchase my course, and then it becomes 200 US for an hour or 500 US for 3 hours. That's the only time it's negotiable. For home and kitchen, what is the highest rank you will go? I give that out in my course. That isn't. You have great questions, and then a lot of the questions you have, I'm unfortunately not able to answer because it's more just information for my students. But thanks for the questions. I appreciate it. If it's stuff I can answer, I will answer it. So we are all caught up. Thanks for the follows. We're all caught up on questions. Sounds like you make more money on teaching people than actually buying and selling. No, that is not true. I make the majority of my income from selling on Amazon, which is um, unlike a lot of people who sell courses. Most of the people who sell courses who are successful selling courses make a lot more on their courses than they do and consulting and stuff than they do with selling on Amazon. I am the opposite. The majority of my income, the large majority of my income comes from selling on Amazon. A small portion of my income comes from teaching people how to make money online. So thank you so much for doing this. Yeah, thank you for being here. Guys, let me know if you have any other questions. We've had awesome questions so far. And yeah. How much capital is needed to start? I recommend starting with at least $1,000 to invest in inventory. So appreciate your transparency. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Biggest mistake you made when starting out? Not hiring VAs sooner and not reinvesting my profits right from the get-go. I saw you on TikTok. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm live on both TikTok and YouTube, so thanks for popping over to YouTube. Um, I did a little research on wholesaling last night, and I'm curious why you haven't considered it. You're willing to buy deep and hold inventory, and you can prove that you have experience in retail. Yeah, that's a great question, Matt. With that being said, I I didn't. How do I answer that? I tried to okay, so one of the main products that I was selling back when I had a warehouse, I reached out directly to the, brand, which is a brand that has a bunch of different brands under it. It's a huge, huge company. I explained, I buy like thousands of these products that you sell. Can I buy directly from you rather than going through the retailer? And they said no. And even though I probably would have bought more than most of the retailers that they sell to, they said no, and that discouraged me from ever wanting to get into wholesale, and it probably shouldn't have. I probably should have just stuck with it, to be honest, and try to learn wholesale a bit more. But yeah, that's probably one of the. And then another brand, same thing that I sell thousands of their product, reached out. They said no, we don't sell to Amazon sellers. So I guess I just got discouraged in that sense, and I was like, you know what, I'll stick to what I know, which is online arbitrage. Uh, but but now that I don't have a warehouse, it's not something that I'm really looking into as much because ideally with wholesale, you want to have a warehouse. I'm definitely sticking to OA for now, though. That's crazy. You'd think they would want to sell their product. I I'll tell you I'll tell you one a quick thing. I offered yeah, so I sell a $90 item and I buy it for 50. I offered that brand the the item that I buy for 50, I went to that brand. Um, I offered them a $10,000 10,000 unit purchase in order for them to let me sell their items. I said I'll give you a 10,000 unit purchase order right off the get-go. I'll send you a wire transfer. I'll order 10,000 of them and they wouldn't do it. I offered like half a million dollars. They said no. And I know 100% for a fact that they are in that product is in boutique stores. I know 100% for a fact, and those boutique stores maybe buy 100. I'm like, it's insane, but the key with this one is this brand sells directly to Amazon. So, I think they probably have something in their agreement with Amazon that they won't sell directly to Amazon sellers. That's the only thing I can think of with that offer that I gave them. So, Um, hey, thanks for the applause. Thanks for the gift. I really appreciate that, Lake Poet. Do you use IP Alert or something similar? Yes, I use IP Alert. For those of you who don't know what IP Alert is, it will tell you if a brand is likely to submit an IP alert against you, so you can avoid those brands. What is VA? Yeah, thanks for answering that, guys. A VA is a virtual assistant. What does a VA cost monthly? So it's anywhere. I pay them anywhere from $2 to $5 US per hour, and four of them work 40 hours a week, and one works 20 hours a week. What is the need for a VA? To take the workload off yourself. I got a book actually right here on my desk. The 4 Hour Work Week. And I always recommend this book because this book could literally change your life. But yeah, the 4 Hour Work Week is the reason, not the reason that I had VAs because I had VAs before that, but the reason that I went deeper on VAs because it teaches you how to work less, how to delegate the meaningless tasks that you do on a daily basis. It teaches you how to delegate them so you don't waste your time on them. Do you put your price similar as other sellers or cheaper? So my repricer will either match the depending on the product, it will either and the repricing criteria that I give them, it will either match or beat the other seller's prices. Just depends on the product. And then in your repricer, you give it a min price and a max price. Once you get to your min price, it does not go below that. Once you get to your max price, it does not go above that. Is this a good avenue for passive income, or does this need more dedication? It definitely needs dedication from the get-go. I would not say it's passive income whatsoever. It does take work. Um, can you make it more passive? Yes, absolutely, by using prep centers. But is it is it good for passive income? No. Passive income to me is like dividends from stocks that you never have to do 1 ounce of work on. You just buy the stock, you get those dividends every month or every few months or every quarter or every year, however they do it. But yeah, to me, that's passive income. Amazon is not. What is a What is the price range you go from current buy box? 5% over it? Yeah, so I try to stay 5%, yeah, I think that's pretty much what I try to stay within, in order to get cycled through the buy box. Do you pay for your VA's software? So I just give my VAs my own login and then they sign in. So yeah, yes. All of the software that they use, like for all the programs that I use, they get access to, and they don't have to pay for, of course. Thank you for your content. You are the best. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Uh, by the time you ship the items, aren't you losing a lot of money? No. If I was losing a lot of money, I would not be in business. So, no, I'm not. Amazon gives you discounted shipping rates when you're sending your inventory to the FBA warehouses. So, if you get those discounted shipping rates, then you should be able to be profitable. Well, yeah, if you're buying the right products, then you definitely will be profitable. Thanks, guys. If you are in the YouTube live, make sure you give this video or this live a thumbs up, please. That would really help to get more people in, and it helps me to keep wanting to do it if I see more and more likes. So, if you guys are enjoying the lives, then please give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Um, thanks to everyone new who's joining. Can you share more about Tactical Expander? Yeah, so basically you use Tactical Expander in conjunction with Tactical Arbitrage, and it will like you can use Tactical Expander to it used to be called Storefront Soccer Pro, so to essentially stock one of your competitor stores. So you can take all of the products from one of your competitor stores, run them through Tactical Arbitrage. Thanks, Lorenzo. Hey, Lorenzo, what's going on? Thanks for being here. Thanks for all those likes. So you can run one of your competitor storefronts right through Tactical Arbitrage using Tactical Expander, and it will tell you which of your competitors' products you can purchase and sell profitably. So that's the kind of gist of it. How many different program slash subscription apps are you using? Good question. What's going on, Brad? Um, thanks for being in that other live earlier. That was fun. Um, how many am I using? So Tactical Arbitrage, Buybot Pro, um, the one that I use for hiring virtual assistants, Repricer Express, Listing Mirror. Let me see in my YouTube. I might have more on there that I'm forgetting about. Um, oops. Tactical Expander, Jungle Scout, which I don't really use too much, but I have it, and Keepa. Yeah, so quite a few different ones that I use. But yeah, with those programs, it has helped me. Those have helped me to scale. Like if I didn't have those program, another program I use is QuickBooks for my bookkeeping. So stuff like that. If I didn't have those programs, it would be a lot. Well, if I didn't have tactical arbitrage, I would not find nearly as many products as I've found. So yeah, love these lives. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for always coming into these lives. Is is it a dollar amount you look for, percentage amount for profit margin? Usually it's a percentage. But I mean, if I'm selling a really high value product and I'm like, maybe it's a lower profit percentage, but I'm still gonna make like $300, let's say, on just for selling one unit, then I'll still go for it, even if it's like 10%. But yeah, normally it's a percentage amount. Can you give a quick synopsis of what it is you are actually doing? Yes, sure. So, um, a quick a quick synopsis of what I'm actually doing is I am purchasing items from online retailers like Walmart and Target, buying them and sending that inventory into Amazon. And when Amazon receives it, then the inventory is listed for sale. So, and then I sell that inventory on Amazon. When it does sell, Amazon ships it directly to the customer for me. And after it's shipped to the customer, then the money goes into your account balance and you get paid out every 2 weeks. Then you take that money that you get every 2 weeks and reinvest it into more inventory, and the business just keeps snowballing into a bigger business. So over time, you can scale and grow the business. Do you feel the sourcing stores are getting more and more sophisticated in their pricing to block resellers on Amazon? No, not really. Maybe a lot of them don't even know, but, maybe some of them I'm sure people do, like, if someone's ordering huge quantities, you would think that the stores would figure it out, but I haven't seen anything that's really made me think that they're trying to block out Amazon sellers, or, like, made a clause in their description saying, "No resellers of this product," or anything. I haven't really run into that. Awesome, guys. We are all caught up on questions. Gonna head off pretty soon here, but I will take several more questions, and then I'm gonna be hopping off for the evening. Do you manage all the account stuff with Amazon, or is it your VAs? So yeah, I have a VA that handles my account health, that handles my customer service, dealing with feedback, dealing with Amazon cases. So yeah, that's mainly managed by my VA. Have you ever got screwed by a customer? Yes, I have. I've had customers return items that are different from what they purchased from me. Will you assist me with product selection if I take your course? And do you take a commission of what, I'm assuming, of what you would sell or make? So if you take my course, do I assist you with product selection? I assist you with product selection in the sense that you get my direct email address and you can ask me if I would buy a specific item. Do I walk you through and say, go buy this? No. But I give you the tools to do that. I give you the tools to find profitable products to resell on Amazon, and you get my direct email so you can ask me about specific products. Do I take any commission of the products that you ask me about? No, I don't. There's never any costs after the course unless you want to do one-on-one Skype calls. How do you know which products to choose? Yeah, so I use a program called Tactical Arbitrage that shows me which products that are going to make sense to purchase and resell on Amazon. Do you use Inventory Lab? No, I don't. Um, what did you do when you got screwed? All right, I'll tell that story. I've told it a few times before, so if you guys have heard it before, sorry for boring you with this story, but I know there's new viewers who haven't heard this one, so I'll tell it quickly. I won't go too in detail, but I'll quickly tell that story. So, um, I think it was about 6 years ago. I don't know the exact time frame, but I was selling iPhones, and I was selling iPhones on Amazon, and the customer wanted to return the iPhone. Okay, fine. So I accepted the return, gave them my return address, and they sent the item back. The reason that they sent the item back to me directly was because I was doing FBM at the time, so I shipped the item out myself. And so, anyways, long story short, they returned a PS2 controller to me instead of returning a iPhone. So that's when I got screwed, and it sucked. And I fought it, but unfortunately, I had signed for the return package. So yeah, they I had to deal with the consequences of that. Does your course list all software and tools needed to set up? Yes, it does. Can you post this live video on YouTube? Yes, it will be live on YouTube after. And actually, I am going to hop off now. So thank you to each and every one of you who've been in here. I haven't come across any super expensive products yet. Fair enough. Yeah. Super expensive is very rare. But yeah, I'm hopping off now, guys. So thank you to each and every one of you who has been in this live. If you're watching this live after when it's reposted, just comment your questions below and I'll do my best to answer those. So yeah, thanks so much for being here, guys. And I will see you guys next time.